There we are.
I'm trying new weird intros.
Yeah, well, anything's better than the hand rubbing thing you did in the last one, because that was like 10 seconds far too long of just the audio. You going and nothing else. Like it just sounded so wrong. Because like if you think about it, right, there could be a time where there's people listening to the podcast that don't necessarily know that we do this. So they're listening to like episode 4 and all they're hearing is
what the hell? Yeah, exactly. Or there's like, you know what I'm gonna try? Well, I'm gonna give it away now, but what I can try is like be out of the shot and just do like something that, you know, some sex sounds or something like something like that. I don't know. What's the sound of your schlong when you masturbate? Here we go again.
Oh Jesus!
This escalated quickly.
What are
Guys,
you doing? What are you doing? Hold on, we've got a cat that wants to play.
Okay.
Don't lick that. It's not you.
It's not a mouse. It's not a mouse.
He might think it is. Jeez.
Definitely. I mean, it looks like a dead one. I think it's time to announce to the guys that we changed this from a musical podcast to a sex podcast.
Yes.
We're branching out, guys. That's it. It's no more lo-fi shit. It's only sex.
Yeah, we're now going to be like sex advice people.
Listening to lo-fi, of course, because it helps a lot with the sex. Fuck yeah! What you drinking, mate?
Apple Tango.
Oh fuck! They have the most amazing drink in Spain that is impossible to find here, or I haven't found here. What is it called? Man, all the build-up for nothing.
I know, right? Hold on, while you look for that, my screen keeps like going dark because apparently it looks like I'm not doing anything, so I'm just going to adjust that, so I'll be 2 seconds.
Go ahead, yeah. Everybody's doing their thing, guys. Get ready. Pull out your loops. Feel comfortable in your seats. Get the schlongs out. Start rubbing them. We're going to be talking about some shit today. I think, okay. Aaron just jumped out entirely. There we go.
There we go.
I'm going to type on Google Spain blue fizzy drink.
Oh, wait, is that the blue raspberry Fanta?
No.
Oh.
Spain non-alcoholic drinks. Oh man, what is it called? I'm actually gonna. I don't want to ask my wife. This is like fucking weird. It's probably gonna pop into my head at some point, but it's also really good for when your tummy hurts. When you have a little bit of like a tummy ache. You apparently drink that shit, and it's like it fixes everything.
Oh, okay.
What is it called? It's like a stupid name. Like it's not unicorn. What is it? Fuck it. Anyway, let's not waste any more time.
Let's not waste too much time discussing drinks that we're not sure what the name is.
Exactly.
Let's get to business.
Let's get down to it. Right off the bat, I told you yesterday that I had a couple of some people actually took the time to ask serious questions.
I know that's rare.
Yeah,
very rare.
One of them, first one is from Saturn. I love that guy.
Yeah.
He says, "Oh shit."
Is that it?
Yeah. Second one is from I'm Busy. He asked, "What's lo-fi beer?" Shit answers only. Well,
Foster's.
Bingo. You got it. The worst beer ever. Foster's lager.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. But I have to admit, I drank a lot when I was in the UK. Like it's the cheapest shit you can drink. It's like a huge F on it. So it's like, fuck you, beer.
Don't do that, dude.
What?
The cat. He's
right.
Yeah, he's back, just being annoying.
Nah,
special guest.
Special guest. Boom, there we go. Yeah, this is also something I will mention on my Instagram story.
Yeah.
So for the kids who are like really eager, probably nobody.
Well, Ethan wants to.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna do that on the second half of the show.
Yeah.
So, you know, we
which
need
you've cut down because I made plans for exactly after the time we usually finish.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see how it goes. We run the show, so if no guests for today, no guests for the day. This is what it is. We just love hyping things up, you know, building things up, clickbaiting people to join the live stream, and then just let them down. Okay, I have the serious question I have is from Librix.
Oh yeah.
Librix. Okay,
that's what I'd call him.
Or is it Librix? Librix. Is it French?
He's from the UK, I think.
Oh, he's twat. Great.
I call him Librix, but that's just me.
So okay, Librix. So he says, what's a great release strategy? EPs, beat tapes, or a shitload of singles? So I'll let you go first.
Oh God. I mean, it depends whether we're talking like what you should do or what's actually like, I guess, successful. It's incredibly obvious that in the lo-fi scene, releasing a shit ton of singles with, I guess, a ton of different labels as well, is a very successful release strategy. Is it a good release strategy? In my opinion, no. You can very easily get a good monthly listener number if you do that, and if that's what you're going for, then great.
Go for it,
you know, you can create you can create like 30 exactly. You can create like 30 to 40 singles to release throughout the year with 30 to 40 different labels, and at some point, you know, you will
burn out.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say you burn out. Like, you know, people creating albums and stuff are making that many tracks and just picking the best.
Yeah.
The issue at the moment within the lo-fi scene is that the market is becoming incredibly saturated. You know, this isn't the first time that we've said this.
Yeah.
And it just seems that everybody is releasing music weekly to keep up those monthly listeners, to, you know, to keep on the good side of labels that are showing them success. And they're not really giving themselves or their music any room to breathe. Yeah. So if the question is, what is a successful release strategy within the lo-fi scene, that is it. Just completely saturating the market like everyone else is doing. If you're looking for a good release strategy, and this applies, I would say, across the board to all music. It's, you know, even if it's with singles, albums, EPs, is to spend time on it for one, create some great visuals, promote it both before and after, and don't just release it and be like, okay, it's out to the world, telling everyone it's out on the release day and then moving on to the next thing. Like, just keep it churning along, making sure that, you know, that key visual that you've got is out there, making sure that you're making everyone aware. One thing I heard recently was, I think it's something stupid like the number 7 rule or something. I'm making that up, I can't remember exactly.
Okay,
For every time you share something on your social media, about 10% of people will see it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, exactly. So the idea is to not keep sharing the same thing, but create content around the thing that you've made. So, you know, you put the album art out there, that's 10% of your audience that might see that. Then you can maybe put a video out there to do with the release, that's another 10%, maybe the original 10% that interacted with that to begin with. And what you're kind of doing is just kind of keepy uppy with the ball. You're just making sure that it's going up and up and up, and making sure that everyone sees it in some way, shape or form. You know, we have 1,000 different platforms to share our music on. We have, you know, Instagram has, well, they did have several different formats. They've now folded videos all into one.
Now it's like videos and more videos. And that's it.
So you've got, you know, your pictures on the main feed, you've got your Instagram stories, and now you've got videos. They're obviously favoring videos, so create like video content. And it's kind of just making sure you're consistently kind of putting your stuff out there. And as well as, you know, social media and stuff, although people would disagree because they don't necessarily see blogs and like music influencers very important, try and become friendly with like curators, tastemakers, like blogs, journalists and stuff, and trying to get your music in front of people that don't necessarily follow you, because especially within our scene, it's just a bunch of other producers that are all following us.
Fucking creeps.
Like, I could scroll through my 1,000 something, and the chances of me coming across someone that isn't a music producer
is none.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's probably like 1 out of like 50 at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's about kind of a good release strategy throughout music as a whole would be to just build something up around the release itself, whether that's like video content, some sort of like cool visual. Even if you want to get into this whole NFT thing, like try something around that's pretty interesting and new. If you're wanting to shoot quick to success, then drop a shit ton of singles.
I mean, again, this is like, how should I say, like my approach on that first of all, I totally agree with your opinion. Is 100% valid, no cap.
Fucking hell.
We're trying new lingo, guys. You know.
Hello, fellow kids.
Bear with us. I would say, like, I always like to take it up a notch and say that what does it mean successful, in the sense of like who is the recipient of that answer? Like, is successful to you to get 1 million streams? Is it successful to sell 100, I wouldn't say copies, but send 100 instances of your track on iTunes? Is it successful to get 1,000 likes? Is it successful to be featured on editorial playlists? Is it all of the above? You know, it's like there's layers to success, I think. My personal, let's say, milestone when it comes to success is basically, it's very simple. Like, I always start with my immediate family circle, in the sense of, I mean, maybe I'm not producing as much now as I used in the past with previous, deep house electronical genre. But my success would start from if my mom liked it. Right. As simple as that. Like, if I could get, like, this was like my goal. Like, if I could get a then 60-year-old woman who has no background on any of the musical genres that I'm invested in, and she grew up with, let's say, maybe like Greek folk music and ABBA, because like nice. Disco, everybody used the disco, man. I mean, for fuck's sake, like disco is disco, like, and of course a little bit of rock and roll, at least the commercial stuff. Like, my dad was also like a more of a heavy rock head, not as much as my mom, but and I would say if a person like that likes it, and of course based on the music that I would make back then, which was like, you can low-key call it dance, you could dance to it, yeah. If she would just like dance to it or something, I said, yeah, this was a success. Now this also like upgraded to, if my wife likes it, or a few of my friends, or I would send something out, like, I call it a success, or it's like the first level of success. Okay, I made something that doesn't sound completely shit, so we can work with that. Let's put it out in the world, see what happens there. Now, dude, to build up with what you said, is like, it's on our scene, it's 100% is the fact that we see it a lot more often, that there would be like a lot of producers out there who just like release a shit ton of music. I think the first time that I personally saw it, surprisingly, before Lofi did it, it was, I saw it from Glimlip. Yeah, he's a Dutch producer. I don't remember his legal name. Really cool guy, like really top shelf producing, like the guy, like the stories that he posts every now and then is like, he's like a collector of hardware. Like he buys like some weird pianos or key instruments or whatever that you've never heard of, and he's like, oh, that's cool. Good for you, mate. And he used to do it a lot. Like he would release, not even every week, I would say every 5 days he would put something out. It was like so fucking crazy. I guess it worked. I mean, in the long run, I think he's kind of like sitting on like 2.5 million monthly listeners now, whatever, some shit like that, which is like pretty, over 2 million, which is like pretty solid for somebody who came up like 3 years ago. I want to say 3 years ago, and he's been sitting on that number for like quite some time, and he hasn't really put a lot of stuff out. He's been like out of circulation for a little while now, and he's gonna put like I think an album soon. Anyway, too far. I'm getting ahead of myself. I definitely like what I would though like consider as a, let's say, not Pueblo Vista, the artist or the label manager. Like I would see it from the A&R point of view, like how I would manage as an A&R manager, like an act. It would be exactly what you also said before, like produce enough work that can carry you through a year of producing. I think the golden rule there, there are golden rules and there are golden rules, whatever. What you mentioned, like whether it's like a 7 or 8, whatever, this makes perfect sense. It's like, at the end of the day, it has to make sense to you. What makes sense to me, for example, is like at least 2 pieces of content per month. I think it's something that in our day and age, with this sort of like fast consumption of media, I think 2 pieces of content, whether this is a single or a small EP, like a 3-track EP or 4-track EP, it can definitely keep you sane and not lose your shit. Of course, producing more than 1 piece of work is not as easy as it might sound. Some people also us, there would be a point that you're gonna hit this fucking writer's block. And then you'd be like, I'm just gonna play games every day, try to figure out if I have like there's no inspiration coming anywhere. I mean, you could even like download the best splice loops in the world, and you could have like a ready-made track out of 5 splice loops, and still it's not gonna work out. It's gonna sound like shit. Let alone if you're like someone like me or like you who like to make some sort of composition around on tracks, and not just like blatantly use like a sample or whatever, or maybe use a sample and compose around it too. So I think it's not the answer doesn't lie in let me just look at the question again. It's not just like EPs, beat tapes, or a shitload of singles. I think it lies somewhere in between, in the sense of like it should be a balanced amalgamation, because I like nice words, big boy words, a nice amalgamation of all these things. To the people who don't speak English, amalgamation means a mix.
I think the question of what format should I release, whether like beat tapes, singles, albums, EPs, I don't think that necessarily matters in terms of like success.
No way, no.
But what matters the most is how you present that to the world.
Exactly.
Because if you have like 6 singles lined up in a month that are all dropping consecutively after each other, after every couple of days, you're not gonna give that enough of anything, really.
No.
All you're gonna maybe do is post something on like your Instagram to say, oh, this is out today, maybe post a story, maybe a link to Spotify or whatever, and then that'll be it. Because by the time anyone's even cared to listen to it, you're gonna be releasing something else. And
exactly.
I think especially with that strategy, I think it's more risky, because at the end of the day, you're not giving people enough time to really take in what you're doing. And even Spotify isn't going to help you in that regard when it comes to like release radar. If you've got like 3 releases in a week, they're just going to prioritize one of them for the release radar. Maybe that will go on, like the other tracks will go on a couple of other people's like release radars, but for the most part they'll just pick one and use that across the board. And at the end of the day, that's not going to benefit you unless it's released with a label that's already getting you like 100k in a week. Then in a way you're not really doing your music any service there, really, because you're throwing it out there, it's getting thrown on a playlist, you're moving on to the next thing, and it's like, okay, so do you actually care about that? Like, is it if I see that you don't care about your music, I'm probably not going to care about it either.
Exactly.
Like I've seen some people that had a release on Monday followed by a release on like Thursday, and then they had something over the weekend. And it's like, I don't know at this point what I want to listen to or what I should care about, because by the time I've seen, you know, the natural algorithms of Instagram, oh, okay, you posted that image like 2 days ago and I'm only just seeing it now. But then if I go on your profile, you've already got 3 other tracks out. So it's like, okay, well, do I bother listening to that, or do I just, you know? So I think there's definitely there's positives and negatives. Like, I've definitely recently learned that it is quite easy to release something and move on if the label that you're releasing it with is already getting you like 10k. Like that, for me, when I'm seeing those numbers rise, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I don't really have to worry about that. So I'll just move on to something else. And I kind of, even though I was happy doing that, I did also feel slightly guilty, because I was like, well, you know, I put time into this, I was excited for it to come out. Yes, it's great that it's having success, but am I personally showing it any justice? Am I showing it that I care, or am I just like, oh, okay, well, it's on this playlist, it's getting me a good amount of numbers, fuck it, you know?
That's it though. Like, you do have to care about that shit, even though if you land with a label that, I love that. Oh, there you go.
There he goes, he's knocking the tripod again. Oh, God's sake.
Like, I mean, whether you're like on a label that you know, gives you like 1 million fucking streams over a week, Lo-Fi Girl, there's also Lo-Fi Girl. That's great. You can, I think you do have the luxury to say, fuck it. This is, you know, this took it's going down a path. It's great. Like, I don't have to deal with it anymore. I would say, like, for something like that, you do have the luxury. However, from, you know, the ethical point of view, because we are ethical, even though we talk shit all the time, I'm just gonna align with you and say, yeah, it doesn't do your music any good, because if you're just like, oh yeah, okay, you know, I released with lo-fi music and I'm gonna get my millions of streams, so I don't give a fuck, then this is where you become a fucking hypocrite for me. Like, in the sense of like, fuck off, mate, like, don't do any more music anymore. Like, you're in the category of people that, and you know, that say, oh yeah, Lo-Fi Girl, thank you to my fans, 1 million streams, like I hit the million. Go fuck yourself. Like, if you do music, try to do at least right. Like, sure, there's a label there, but you're becoming part of the problem. The same way that if you release massively, I think what people don't understand, like, there's like, and I've seen this, I got facts, bro, in the sense of, you know, me being in this interesting point of time that I am, you know, getting that divorce and moving on. I haven't been active on my Instagram, in the sense of like, I haven't been posting shit. I keep thinking like every day to, oh, there's this fucking autumn compilation that I put out. This is like 20 something tracks. I can just post one of them every day. Like, nothing stops me. I should, you know, I need to do the producers good. But I'm not. However, what I've seen is that even though I'm not posting so often, but I haven't really posted like for over a week, I'm posting stories every now and then. Like, I posted the story for, you know, this, for the podcast, or I posted the story reposted the story a couple of days ago from, I don't remember. Anyway, but I saw that the numbers in the stories actually almost like tripled, like in terms of like engagement. So posting shit every day, basically, I mean, I think this was like a common, I don't know, a well-known secret that you shouldn't post that often. Like, I used to, for example, like another example that I can set is like for my other account, the photography one. After almost like 3.5 years of, that's cool, of posting like every day. Like I was posting photographs every day. I mean, I didn't have a baby back then, so I had a lot more landscape photographs to post. I didn't see shit. Like that account was stale as fuck. And then at some point I was like, you know, fuck it. I don't care about that shit anymore. Nobody gives a fuck. Like the likes go somewhere else. And then the first post that I did after a month of no activity got like 600 likes. And this was like 400 likes more than my average post. And I was like, what the fuck? What's happening? So then I would post like every week, maybe once a week or something, and I would see similar numbers. Yeah. So I think the same thing goes with music as well. Like it's, and I think we touched a little bit in the previous podcast about curating stuff. Like it's virtually impossible for somebody nowadays to listen to, I wouldn't go that far. I would just say to the music that's been released within a week. Yeah. You know, especially also, you know, since we're talking about lo-fi instrumental hip hop, like in our shit as well, like it's just, you know, first of all, to wrap this up, I guess it's like my closing point would be, first of all, it has to make, you need to ask yourself what is successful to you. Yeah, no, absolutely. And you need to, you know, focus on that. And then what it also has to make sense to you. Like, does it make sense to post a track every day? If it makes sense, mate, you know, live your life. Yeah, exactly. Just fucking do it. But you know, if you can ask your mom, does it make sense to post a track every day? If your mom says no, I will go with what my mom says. Like they usually know more, these guys. So anyway, that has to be like, it hasn't, like for me, I mean, what worked, we can say what worked for us, I think, to close it down. What I would say is that for me, what it worked was to have this sort of like, you know, schedule. As both as a label and as a producer. Like it's, of course, like I'm guilty of, you know, releasing, like I think this was like a couple of years ago, I would just post, like release like 3 releases a week, 4 releases a week, shit like that. It's like, it was like singles. So I flooded the market. I helped saturate the market. I don't deny that. You bastard. Yes, it was me. Fuck you guys. Anyway, but after a point, it's like, you really need to, if you really care about what you're doing, and unfortunately this was the case with me because I'm not in it for the money or whatever, you just focus on, like, you know, less releases is more. So it gives you like more time to go to pass it on to you, what you say, like, you know, to care about it more, create some content around it, and make sure that it's been well taken care of, because it's like, I hated that we reached the point as a society, or like as a genre, or as a community, that we just like produce so much music just to throw it away. Yeah. A lot of it though is that instant gratification. That's something that that this social media like era has kind of ingrained into us. Is, you know, if you're not getting likes, then you're not successful. If you're not getting streams, it's not successful. If you know, if you're not being validated, then whatever you're doing isn't successful. By a bunch of people you don't know. Yeah, exactly. And to go back to what someone said in the comments, which was, you know, I'm just releasing to get playlisted. Yeah. Like, you're not to kind of toot my own horn a little bit there, but I've kind of proven that if you put the work in, and you really, you know, you spend some time to, you know, I have my lo-fi cheat sheet that is free, it's not for sale. That, you know, if you spend time to sit and go through that, you can get some good results from it. Every single release that I have done, both myself and with the label as well, I base all of our promo off of this cheat sheet, and you know, we're currently seeing around about 1,000 to 5,000 streams within the first week, and that just kind of ticks on as it goes.
And that's for me, that's like hugely successful. You know, that are coming to us and are really happy with the results. And again, that for me, that shows success. So I kind of think that if you feel that pushing tons and tons of tracks out there in an effort to get, whether it's editorial playlists or whether it's other playlists, like, you don't need to do that. You can push a release that you say you release something this, like, today, right now.
Yeah.
You can keep pushing that until December, even into January. Like,
yeah, easy.
You don't have to move on to the next thing. And that's something that I've fallen into several times. You know, I've easily just moved along, like, and I've looked back and I'm like, oh, hold on a minute, why have I done that? I put so much effort into creating this, into creating a story around the music itself, and I let that go to waste because I was like, shit, no, I need to move on to the next thing. That's out now. Let's next thing. Yeah. And it's not a hugely successful thing. And Spotify aren't going to tell us what they take into account when it comes to editorial. But I think
money.
Well, yeah. But I think flooding them with tracks isn't a good thing.
It's definitely not a good start. Like,
yeah,
take it there. So it's.
And then someone said, "What about releasing monthly?" I don't see that. That's pretty decent, actually. Releasing a track a month. That's what I aim to do this year. That's what I kind of think that I've managed to do this year, and I'm happy. I'm not looking back with anything that I've done being like, I wish I'd have done that differently. I think I only had a bit of a hiccup in June when I didn't actually release anything for that month, but then I made up for it in July by releasing like 6 things. So, you know, hypocrite. But yeah, no, I've that's what I aimed to do this year, was to have, I wanted more EPs, something a bit more substantial this year than what I've actually done. But yeah, like I said, I've been pretty happy with aiming for a release a month, so I think that's a pretty good strategy. Definitely. And then I think that's it. Someone mentioned Spotify Wrapped, which I'm very excited about because I can't wait to see myself as my own top artist again.
Oh yeah, bitches!
You're in the top 1% of Lazyboyloops listeners. I'm the only percent, bitch.
Number 1.
Yeah,
we're the best.
I've had kind of a sneaky look because, you know, as you know, I have Last FM and there's all of the Spotify things that you can check, and it's going to be a battle between, I think, me and Tyler the Creator, so fingers crossed.
Oh man, Tyler, I think Tyler's going to get it, man.
I think so. He released an album this year and I've been playing that to shit, so it's probably going to be that. Either that or the new Korn single. But
I actually, speaking of which, like, you know, to change the subject a little bit, I came across the beef he had with DJ Khaled.
Oh yeah,
a couple of weeks ago. I was like completely unaware of that shit, and I was like, I don't know.
Was it beef though, or was it DJ Khaled just being a crybaby?
Well, DJ Khaled being a fucking bitch for something that, like, I mean, we all know that he does not produce music, which is like, it's great. You know, you have a bunch of people ghosting shit up. You are funding everything, which is great, and I think this was like gloriously proven in a recent TikTok with the Bob Marley guitar.
Oh, don't! I was about to say, have you seen?
Oh my god!
Because I was like, oh shit, you know, the Marley estate has given him this guitar,
and I was
and then he's just like fucking. Oh!
But the look in his face, like, I think he's so in it, like he's so invested in his own bullshit that he actually probably heard a track. He definitely heard a track, like 100%. Proper music. And I'm like, dude, and I'm thinking, like, I don't know who I texted first. I was like, Bob Marley's like turning on his fucking grave.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Have you seen all of the shitty like remixes that people have done of it?
It's
like he's chatting away and then he goes to strum and then it's like some sort of like Midwest emo, or he's playing like metal or something. That's the creativity of the internet, man.
Because I know at least a couple of dozen people, like, let's say guitarists, who would just love to have like.
You really struggle with that word, don't you?
No, it's a curator. I think I actually do. A guitarist. It's a
Yeah,
guitarist.
there you go.
Yeah, it's a guitarist. Yeah, I made so much fun. I made so much fun of the French version of the guitarist.
Oh, that's just become natural to you. It's just now your vocabulary.
So I don't know. Guitarist. so I don't really know how to pronounce it properly. Anyway, let's say guitar player.
That's when it's a problem. When you meme so much that it just becomes like, wait, what's the true thing?
What's the real word? The guitarist. The guitarist.
Baguette guitarist.
Baguette guitarist. Anyway, oh man, the guy's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. They're not gonna know.
They're gonna know.
No, they're not gonna know. Anyway, so I know like a bunch of guitar players who would love to have like a musical instrument from that estate. You know, I mean, I would like to have one, and I don't even play the guitar. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, it's great. Like, come on, man. I mean, there's like the most. I mean, for me, a role model that I had, like when it comes to music, and a person that I would definitely aspire to be, except from the looks maybe, is Rubin, who's like he's a legendary musical producer, like producing from Metallica to Beastie Boys to rap. Like we're talking about the founder of Def Jam, you know, back when hip hop wasn't even a thing in New York, and you know the guy doesn't play an instrument. He knows of, you know, instruments.
Yeah.
He knows how to produce stuff. He knows how to work the console and all that shit. But it's like, and I would, you know, if you want to be that, that's great. But you're fucking DJ Khaled. I mean, you know, first of all, like I would say, pay attention to your health. You know, lose that fucking blob. Like it's like, if you want to keep enjoying the fruits of your labor, maybe you need to look after yourself. That's the most important thing. But it's like
you fat shaming DJ Khaled.
Oh, straight up, he's
For
a fat
fuck's
guy.
sake.
He's a fat ass. That's what he is. I mean, maybe I'm gonna blow my chances of working with him, but oh shit, that wasn't my goal anyway in life.
Insert the "you've just played yourself" thing.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, that was like super funny. That was super.
Yeah.
Funny.
He was so pissed that like what he said some kid had just taken the first place thing from him.
And I'm like, come on, man. Like it's like I thought this was like such a joke. Like I wouldn't even begin to start beef with a person in the music industry, you know, be that all of us know how shitty it is even to go to number one, let alone fucking, you know, Tyler, the creator. Like he really lives up to his name because the guy's a fucking genius at what he does. Like these motherfuckers come like one every 100 years. There's like once every 100 years, like one of these motherfuckers come.
Yeah.
I mean, there used to be like, you know, the golden decade of the 60s and 70s. It was like, we had a lot of these motherfuckers showing up, you know, from, I don't know, Queen to Bowie to all these motherfuckers. But anyway, but yeah, like I just came across, you know, this came up on my, I think it was like YouTube reel feed. And I was like, what? Like, it was a beef? Like, what the, like, why would you go into a beef with like a musical genius?
I think because it was Tyler's Igor album.
Yeah.
And that was the first time that Tyler himself, I think, had become what a lot of people are saying is. Right, I'm back.
Yeah.
That was his first breakout into like mainstream.
Yeah.
Into mainstream. So you know, DJ Khaled's like, who's this guy that's just come out of nowhere? And it's like, hold on a minute, like, no, he's got like 5 albums under his belt at this point.
Exactly. I mean, if you want to play it a little bit smart. Oh, I'm busy in the chat. I just saw it.
Yeah.
If you want to play it smart, and I just fucking, you know, warm up to him. Like maybe you can get him on a feature or something. I mean, maybe most probably Tyler would have said no, because I think he's a guy who also has a little bit of, you know, ethics in him. Mm-hmm. Or maybe he would have went on a DJ Khaled joint and do his thing, and everybody would be like, I didn't know DJ Khaled did that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, this could have potentially added value to your content.
Yeah.
DJ Khaled, if you're listening.
No, exactly. No, instead Tyler just fucking pissed himself because
exactly.
that was just all so stupid.
Yeah, you give a chance to, as he called him, like a kid, like out of nowhere. You give a chance to a kid out of nowhere to talk shit about you.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Like, why are you being an idiot? You could be like the better man and say, oh, it's great to see more people joining the top 1% of the, elite in the music industry or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
If you want to call DJ Khaled elite, but it is what it is.
Everyone knows who he is, don't they? So
he has great producers. He's great. Oh, Mike is in the chat. We the best music. Yeah, of course we are. But he said it with we the best music.
We the best music. But yeah,
So,
that was just.
Yeah,
and then the album that he released this year. That was a dope album.
Did you see that? I really need to talk about it. Did you see? I think it was like DJ Khaled is one of his new singles with Justin Bieber. And there's a scene where he fights a fake animal predator. Like, is it a lion or is it a crocodile? It's a stuffed toy, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And he dives to it after taking off his shirt. I'm like, the guy's like, he's fake wrestling a prop, and he's like, he's literally out of breath. And I'm like,
that'd be me at this point.
And I was like, dude, if that was like, let's just say a fucking dog, like a middle-sized dog, you'd be fucking dead. not from the dog. Giving yourself a fucking heart attack or something.
Yeah,
but
I was like, fucking close to that, man. Like this whole like lockdown pandemic bullshit for the past 2 years. I'm like the heaviest I've ever been, and like I get hot so quick now.
Okay.
I was always this like little skinny kid that was like, oh, I'm cold, like even in the middle of summer. But now I just like I'll walk down the stairs and that'll be it. Like I'm out.
Oh shit.
Like I started going out a bit more on my bike, like to the shop and stuff, rather than like walking. And I feel like I'm getting a bit better, but I'm still just like, holy shit. Like if I jump, like, whoa.
I jumped on my scale today, and I haven't done this for like I think a couple of weeks. And I'm like 118 kilos. Last time I jumped on the scale, I was like 114. And it was like I was super happy about myself. And this was like 2 weeks ago. But I went into like I'm in this like 2 week, almost 3 week hiatus, like because I have like a lot of work at my day job with like designing and stuff, so I cannot really. I'm one of these people that until something is finished, and I think we talked about it, like on until something is finished, I cannot mentally move to the next one. So it might sound easy, like, oh yeah, I can get up like at 5 a.m. I do get up at 5 a.m. in the morning because the little bastard is waking up my daughter. I love her. So like, and I could say, yeah, I'm gonna go to the gym that it opens up at 6 and do something there, and then come back and start working. But it's just like mentally, it's impossible for me. Like I would just wake up, have breakfast. And I was like pretty generous with my breakfasts the last 3 weeks. I gotta say, I was like, I just forget. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a couple of more Nutella bread. Yeah, maybe I'll have some crispy snacks.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, breakfast lasts for a couple of hours. So. Yeah, it's at this point, it's just comfort food breakfast or some shit.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm doing, at least I think, the best illustration work of my life, which is great. To what expense though? Like I don't know. I think the part that I think that the fact that I'm tall and I'm doing a lot of weightlifting, at least at home, that's the only thing. It's like, I get bloated everywhere. So it's like you don't really see it, but the weight, the scale is unforgiving. I was like, I saw it yesterday. I was like, you fat bastard! You're turning into DJ Khaled.
Yeah, I realised that it was getting like a bit much for me, and I was like, no, I've got to do something. Like, I don't have like weights or anything, so I was like, okay, just do some like squats, exercises, sit-ups, you know, that sort of thing, push-ups, blah blah blah. Weak as fuck. First time I did it, I went a bit too full on, and I was I was just sprawled out in the bathroom thinking I was going to die because I pushed myself too much, and I'm like, I'm going to fucking throw up in a minute. Oh my god! So I'm on the bathroom floor, like just sweating, like, my entire body's hot, and I'm like, I'm going to be sick. Oh my god! So then I was like, maybe I'll just tone it down a little bit, and I did. I did maybe for about a week, and then everyone was like, no, just don't. You don't have to do it every day, and that was it for me. It was like, oh, okay, so I won't do it today. I'll do it tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll do it tomorrow. No, I won't do it today.
Yeah.
I'll do it today. I haven't. I've not done it since.
It's fucking crap. So I think I'm gonna go on a strict no Twinkies diet from next week. I mean, we don't have Twinkies in Europe, but you know. No. Nah, because I'm getting like I will just try to follow my daughter's diet in the sense of like I will eat, you know, whenever she's eating and the portions that she's eating, which I think it's gonna work out. I mean, today she woke up in the morning, like she had breakfast. I didn't, because I was like, fuck it, I don't want to be fat anymore. And then we had like a banana each around 10 a.m. or something, and then before we went for like our little siesta, we shared the mango. We just peeled it and ate it, which is great, you know. So I mean, I'm slowly turning into a monkey, I guess, here, but it's fine. It's great, you know.
Oh, I had kids cereal this morning. I had kids chocolatey cereal this morning, so I'm fucking living life. If there's a thing that I fucking miss, I don't know. It's like, let's just say this, like, if you do exercise on a daily basis, and it doesn't have to be crazy, but it's like the difficult part is actually getting your brain to work with it, warm up to it. You don't need, and take it from a 41-year-old man, you don't need like an hour full of like pushing and sweating and whatever. You can literally do like 20 minutes of jumping jacks. It's a lot better than doing nothing at all. Yeah. You know? No, I get that. I mean, so, the exercises that I did were no more than 10 minutes. That's how. Yeah. So, I mean, it's like... I was still dying. There's also like some weird shit stuff that I started seeing, like if you spend too much time in front of the computer or whatever, like we do, for example, like there's exercises you can like, you know, turn your neck left to right or like do like some shit like that. It you know, at some point you're like, why am I doing that? Like if there's like a camera filming me and I'm like doing chin-ups. Like, what the fuck is this? Here's the thumbnail for this video. Fuck. What have we just done? Yeah. Anyway, good question. I'm busy. Like it took us through a good 45 minutes. We can go. I wasn't busy. Busy was the bear one. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, busy was the bear. It was Lear Breaks that did this question. It was the twat. It was the British twat. Should we open up the phone lines? Yeah. No, fuck the phone lines, man. We have more questions. Fuck all of y'all. Well, we can go through one from John Noir Smith. Really cool guy, that one. Really nice musician, sound producer. His question is like low-key self-promoting. No, he's like shameless self-promo, so we can bash on it, basically. Cool. He said, have you checked out John Noir Smith's version of Jingle Bells yet? So I haven't checked anything, but if you, John, have produced a lo-fi version of Jingle Bells, fuck you. I'm sorry, but who comes into someone's Q&A thing and promotes their own music? John does that. So fuck you, John. If you produce something like that, I'm against. Even though I love the guy and he's on Discord as well. I think he has a couple of collabs going on too. I'm really against all the sort of like
themed production.
I'm covered in fluff. It looks like cum. I was looking at the screen then because the text is the chat's here. I'm looking on the screen. I'm like, what is this? I've just been sitting here with like what looks like cum on my shoulders.
Jinx.
Well, there we go.
Okay. Yeah, guys. Well, I mean, we told him this was gonna be a sexual call. So anyway, so yeah, I'm super against themed releases or stuff like that. Like, oh, I made like some scary beats, perfect for Halloween. No.
Hey, I made a beat for Dia de los Muertos. Don't even.
Fuck you then.
Fuck you with your winter compilation.
Fuck yeah, it's a winter compilation. It's not fucking Christmas compilation, is it?
It should be.
Oh.
I'm gonna call it that from now on. This is Pueblo Vista's Christmas call. I'm gonna rename my track fucking Deck the Halls.
What the? Dick in the Halls?
Deck the Halls. Oh, fuck's sake.
Okay. You can start calling the spring compilation as Easter compilation.
Oh yeah, eggs and bunnies.
What's
Jesus like died for your sins.
Yeah, what's a good holiday for summer compilation though? I mean, we do have
spring
one
break.
Here. Nah, but spring break is not like it's in May.
Yeah.
I mean, here in Europe, Italy at least, and Greece, we celebrate Ferragosto, which is like the 15th of August.
Nobody cares about Greece.
Italy? I care about Italy. I love my Italian friends.
Nobody cares about Italy.
Fa culo!
Silenzio Bruno, that's all I know.
Silenzio!
From fucking...
Sto cazzo, ma sto cazzo. Okay, what the dipshit? I gotta give big props to. We gotta give big props to dipshit. That guy is literally time zone wise in the future.
Yeah.
Like super late.
How is Monday?
Yeah, dipshit. How's Monday morning?
Is it a Bones Day?
Is it going? How's it going? Yeah, and he's like into in the live. Like, good for him. Great. Mike is on the live as well.
Yeah, do we have any other questions?
I'm
guessing, want to talk about Mike.
I'm guessing Mike is on the live because he's like simping to get invited.
Yeah, he's fishing.
he's sniping. He's stream sniping. That's what he does.
He's trying to get on.
Fucking loser. Yeah, so okay, that's good. What else do I have? Like, we can go quickly through the albums. I have one from Ozymandias Dream. Shout out to my Mexican boys. Your opinions on mixing oneself or sending the music to a mixing engineer. You know, I guess again, this is like one of these things. Like, it's like whatever makes sense to you, bro. Like, in the sense, I'm a guy who likes to micromanage everything. Well, when it comes to the music stuff, and I wouldn't say learned, maybe taught myself how to. I'm not a professional mixer.
Yeah.
But I know how I want my music to sound.
Mm-hmm.
So I've taught myself, and I would prefer myself to anyone else. However, I've never had the need to send it to anyone, or nobody. I had some people like, you know, doing mixing and mastering on my own tracks, and I heard the results and I was like, like I didn't say that they were inferior to my mixing, but it wasn't better. So I thought, yeah, I can, you know, keep doing it to myself. So
I've learned to mix and master my own stuff. First of all, I can't afford to send and make it, like, have someone else do it for me.
You're poor?
Yeah.
You're poor?
Yeah. Second of all, well, the thing is it's less about afford and more about, like, is that really where I want to put my money on this? You know, there is a wealth of tutorials online on how to do shit. And, you know, I guess that's, for me, that's the fun of making music. You're learning how to do stuff. Exactly. You know, I was mastering a track both Friday and Saturday. It was just taking so fucking long because I just couldn't get it to sound how I wanted it to sound. And it was just, I think I mixed the most backwards way as well. And I don't know whether this is how you're supposed to do it or not. But I'll bounce down a mix I'll go to master it, and then I'll be like, well, that sounds like shit. The bass is too loud, the drums are a bit too loud, that piano needs to be compressed a little bit, and then I'll go back to the mix it about again, adjust the levels some more, maybe add some compression, some EQ, blah blah blah. Then I'll bounce that down, go to master, and I'll basically be doing that for about 6 hours, and I'll have like mix V1, V2, V15, final.
Exactly,
yeah. And then eventually, you know, I think yesterday what happened was I was just trying to get because I have this really bad habit of having everything sit between bass and low mid, like everything. So my bass will be there, the kick will be there, the piano will be really like low mid heavy, and I'll just be like, oh, why is it distorting every time I master it? And every time, you know, the piano's hitting exactly the same time as the kick and the bass, and I'm like, oh fuck. So then I'm like trying to sidechain the bass to the kick maybe, and eventually I just ended up changing the piano sound to something completely different.
Yeah, that's the struggle. Like this happened to me like so many times. It's like it stops you, also stops you to moving on. Like this kind of like process was also the motivation. What motivated me to get out of this fucking death loop, because it's a death loop.
Yeah.
In the sense of like you kept doing it so much and like tweaking it and nitpicking it. It's like, but the frequency, and you're like, fuck, like no. And then, you know, you're stuck into, I mean, how should I say, like it sounds funny, but it's, there are people, you know, you can do it as much as you want. It's like, for me, it's like, it's always been, I've done it a lot.
Yeah.
And at some point I'm like, I'm losing, you know, I'm not, apart from losing my mind, I'm losing years from my life fucking tweaking shit like that. So I would just do something, it sounds the way it sounds. The moment that I catch myself be like, oh, maybe I should, like, no, like I know that's the time that I need to just stop, put this project on the side, or say, you know, export it, it's finalized, that's it, and then move on to the next one, and try to, you know, in a way, like correct the flaws of the previous one in the next
future
one. Exactly, because I think with every creative, and not just music, we are ourselves worst enemy. Like this is like, that's why I called it like a death loop. Like you can go into this like extremely like nitpicky blah blah blah, but you need to also come to terms into, that's why I said in the beginning, like there has to be some sort of like a balanced equilibrium, in the sense of like 90% of the people of the audience of our audience. No, exactly. And I'm not talking about other fucking producers who fucking creep up on my feed and like, this motherfucker used vinyl, crackle too much, fuck you. You know, the average listener out there is very average, in the sense of like, you're like, the frequencies are clashing and the kick and the... It was like, you know, the average listener be like, oh, that's a dope kick, man.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, as long as because I strive to have it hitting the required lufs for Spotify, but though I do it a little louder, because I know for other platforms they don't give it that much of a shit. So I do it a little louder than the -14 LUFs thing that they do. I make sure that none of the peaks are clipping at all, because that sounds like shit. And if it sounds good on my phone, if it sounds good on my AirPods, and if it sounds good on my speakers, because I don't have monitors, I've just got like your basic like computer speakers with like a subwoofer, so it's, you know, it's already super bassy anyway. And I'm like, well, if it sounds good there, I'll go to the car. If it sounds good in the car, great, then it's ready to release. I got to the point yesterday where I was like, I think this is fine. I don't know if it's great. Sent it, because it was a collaboration, I sent it back to the other artist, and they were like, holy shit, this is awesome. And I'm like, fuck it then, perfect. So just to quickly jump in though, Saturn's asking if we've done live performances. I have done one live performance on a live stream before. You can catch that. I can like drop a link or something if you really want to, just like send me DM. I would love to do more live performances. The only issue is I can't play piano, so I can't I can't play piano live. I can play like bass and guitar and stuff, but because I'm Lazyboyloops, I work with loops, and most of it is I guess if I could be bothered to learn how a 404 works, I could maybe do stuff like that. But for this particular live stream, I used the pads on my keyboard here, as well as the pads on my little Akai keyboard as well, through Ableton Live. And then I just made it so that I could just trigger different sections of the song, but not the entire section. Yeah. I could trigger different parts and then trigger them at the same time. They all come together. That was fun. Stressful because the person was like, hey, do you want to perform to this like 2 weeks before the actual event? And I was like, I have no idea how to, but yeah, sure, let's do this. It kind of it didn't help as well that I was actually like co-producing the entire event as well. It was like a live stream in support of when George Floyd got killed, and it was supporting that. And you know, we had a lot of it was kind of like a virtual open mic thing, and this person that wanted to put it on, they were like, I haven't got the first clue how to do this, and I'm like, oh well, I can do that. So yeah, I was producing the entire fucking live stream as well as then it's my turn to fucking play live. So yeah, that's online. It's fun. I definitely want to I'm getting a drum pad as well at some point, so I can actually play live drums. And I have been figuring out how to, because with Ableton you can program when like certain tracks record and loop.
Yes, exactly.
So I can automate like an entire track essentially, and then just practice on actually playing some chords and then bass and blah 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 and building a track. So yeah,
I would love to set up a live for some of the artists that are with Pueblo Vista. I personally myself, there won't be a chance in a million that I would perform any of my music live because I'm DJ Khaled. No. It's mainly because like I don't know any musical theory, so usually all the stuff that I do is I play them because I record directly to audio. Like I would do it 10 times, then I will get super frustrated. I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna use take one. I don't care anymore. And this is what I do. This is what I've always done. So I'm like, yeah, fuck it. But I would pay money for other people to to invite them over. I mean, there's definitely a guy that I would love to have live, and the problem is, pandemic and all this fucking crap. And where I am right now in Innsbruck, it's not really like a live mecca. Yeah. Like, whatever.
We should totally just jump on what Astro's been doing and do the Lo-Fi festival.
Yeah, exactly. That's like since Saturn mentioned like he would like to see more live stuff. There is the Lo-Fi festival which happens like online. There's like a bunch of people playing there all the time, which is I think is like probably the only Lo-Fi proper event.
Yeah,
that's it. It happens online 100%, which makes it even more appropriate, let's say, to the community and the genre. A bunch of introverts never leaving their house. Even though I'm a big fan of Metic's performance last year, but the guy's like he's out there, like he's performing everywhere. Like you see his stories and his Instagram. So the guy's like
real live shows. Fuck.
Exactly.
I mean, in the UK we have had a couple of live shows even fairly recently. There's a place in Manchester, I think it's called the Hip Hop Chip Shop. They put on live events. You've obviously got Ilflo Flotante, is that his name? Ilflo. He does. He's got a bar in Bristol or London or somewhere. They put on live events. I know Busy goes to a lot of these live ones as well, and he's performed at a couple as well. So in the UK, there's definitely a live scene that's growing.
Echo World did something recently, I think, in Paris.
Yes,
right?
Yeah, they do as well. Yeah,
that's good. That was good. I mean, this is like when shit like that happens, is really great because it's like I think live performances from a quote unquote organized indie community or a genre is the last thing that it's been missing from this, let's say, ecosystem, in the sense of like. We've seen more and more of indies, of the majors taking a big hit from what's happening in the past, I would say 5 to 10 years from indie. Like indie has become so much more superior to what the major labels put out there.
Yes.
It's not I wouldn't say it's a major label problem per se, because the artists, there are major labels. Some of the artists are like really dope, and they literally carry the major labels. It's just like the major label mentality of this sort of like dinosauric, Paleolithic project planning or project management. I mean, I've seen that firsthand, and it's like, shit could have been so much better, man. But it's like, you want to be like that, be like that.
Yeah.
It's like, they're refusing to branch out and do things differently. But they're happy to capitalize from your shit, but in a certain way. And it's like, that's not gonna work. So I think that's what's definitely missing, and we probably, I believe that the whole pandemic kind of like put a halt into it, because there was a lot of momentum, and you would start seeing more and more of that shit happening. A good point that I made, because I was talking to one of my other friends who's in the music business, but in a completely different genre, is about that new Spotify tab in your Spotify for artists. About this charts, if anybody saw that lately.
Well, the engagement one.
Yeah, no, the charts tab. There's a charts tab. I don't know, if you didn't get it, then I guess you're not as important.
Yeah, I get that.
So there is like an extra, after the profile tab, there's like a charts, or there's also an announcement. Check out the new Spotify charts. And I think this is a very sad attempt.
Yeah, I've got it.
Yeah, this is a very sad attempt to the major's vanity, in the sense of like, you and me, or let's say the average artist, we have absolutely no need to click on that, because it's like, I'm pretty sure like everybody's done it. I've done it. Like, as soon as I saw it, I went in there and tried to look for myself, but we're nowhere, because it only involves a handful of countries, and it only involves like a handful of artists. So if you made like an extra tab on your fucking platform for The Weeknd or Adele to go in and check it, as if they would bother to do that where they are in the charts, good for you, man. But it's like, I think that thing was like a fucking it was as if it's put there to make you feel bad about yourself, like you're not gonna make it to the charts.
It seems like it's a thingy as well, like a customer facing one anyway.
Yeah.
Because it's not actually through art, it's like charts.spotify.com.
Yeah, it's like a beta thing. Like it opens up and then. I mean, I personally, since I'm using AdBlock Plus, with AdBlock Plus you can block specific elements on the page, and I just blocked it. So I don't give a fuck about it, man. I don't even see that shit anymore. So yeah, I think this was like, I'm like, oh man, like, is this like how the major, label mentality is gonna try to push the indie artists out? I mean, maybe I have like a tinfoil hat, but I like to see the world through my tinfoil hat. It's not that bad. And I guess this wraps it up when it comes to questions from people. Did I have another question from somebody else? Let me see. I don't know. Did I? Oh yeah, I think we got another one from I don't know if I can pronounce it. Amy, AM3Y.
Oh yeah.
He asked me, can we get some feedbacks of our tracks? I don't know if I mean the quick answer would be no. I don't do that kind of stuff. You can go to Daniel's Twitch feed. Daniel is Sleep Talk.
I don't find feel that I'm I mean, you've already heard how I master my own tracks from this podcast alone. So I don't necessarily think I'm an authority to be able to say, this is good or not. I know I've given people feedback previously, and there's some in here that I've listened to their tracks recently, but I'm happy to give you that sounds cool, that sounds good, or this stands out a bit, or whatever. But no, I couldn't take myself seriously doing a live stream where I'm like, well, no, if you just turned the drums down just slightly and EQ to the left, or
I cannot, how should I say, I cannot really see myself and I'm pretty sure you too, like providing maybe live feedback to a lo-fi track. Like it's like I don't know. There could be like a meter, like a vinyl crackle meter, like you tone that down, whatever. But it's like, or it could be like these weird reaction videos with people like seeing a video and they're like, oh, it's dope, yeah, it's great. Oh, okay, man. Next track. Oh, it's vibing really hard.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm vibing so much, bro. Oh yeah. Feedback. Yeah. I don't know. If you want feedback, you can go to my Submit Hub.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm not allowed on Submit Hub, but if you want feedback, go fuck yourself now. I'm not really.
Yes.
No. I'm not. I'm too nice. I'm not like that. No, I will listen. Unless. So the one time I won't is if you just blindly like have never spoken to me before and then come in my DMs like, hey bro, what do you think of this track, bro? Playlist, bro.
Fuck you. That's what I think.
Yeah. So no, that's not the bad. But then we've said before how you should and shouldn't go about contacting people.
Exactly.
Like, let's be real. Nobody likes cold calling. Nobody's ever liked cold calling.
No. I mean, cold calling had its era. At some point, it worked.
Oh yeah.
You know, it was. But you know, now we live on. This is
in the 90s, like
This is
back in the 90s where you had some random bloke with a bag of tea towels.
1920s America, man. Like, you know, cold visiting.
Yeah.
Like you go with your Hoover there, it's like, oh, look at this amazing investment, like blah blah blah. There's like a bunch of like weird freaky
Just imagine
stuff.
if we brought back like Tupperware parties but for lo-fi.
Man, that's a fucking a D and a half right there. Like, oh.
You've heard it here first.
You want to buy Lazyboyloops, like 3 joints, and we throw a fourth one for free.
you can get this awesome cucumber thingy
slicer. I mean, everybody know that. You know, I think Tupperware parties was like an excuse for housewives to get together and just like, you know, get fucking wasted and talk shit. And I mean, it used to mean something. Now they're actually expecting for you to buy stuff. It's fucking crazy. Like, what are you talking about? What is it?
Fucking multi-level management. God.
Exactly. Like, what the fuck? But I gotta admit though, like
we should start a lo-fi pyramid scheme. How can we do that? Oh, with sample packs, dude.
No.
Do you want to be your own boss?
No. We can do that. We can do that with playlists.
Oh, like, shit.
Follow my playlist and then get 6 of your friends to follow my playlist, and you get a cut of the thing that you. Oh, I think we're onto something, boys.
Yeah. Start your own playlist, but then also play other people's playlists, and then.
Oh shit!
Game that system. We could do a lo-fi fruits.
Yeah, and make sure you sell Aaron's list.
He's got his pen. He's writing it down. He's like lo-fi pyramid.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Yeah, good vibes. Good vibes. Oh no. I updated my playlist the other day. Well, this weekend. Yeah, I think I'm gonna move into a weekly updating thing. I kind of like see a pattern. You know, I mean, it's not what is it? Sorry, my brain just farted there for a second. I mean, along with the ads that I'm running like crazy, I think that the weekly update of playlists is actually helping as well.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be randomizing a bunch of the entries too. Like I will, you know, manually control them in the end. But yeah, no, random. I don't know why I think I was thinking out loud there, but it just came out. So for the sake of the podcast, I'm just gonna, you know, leave it in. Don't make it weird. So, should we take a caller?
Oh no, I was waiting for this. Yeah, I've got like 15 minutes to chill. So yeah, let's.
You got
who
15...
wants to?
Okay, you got 15 minutes and then you're off. Yeah, we got 15 minutes. Yeah, we got 15 minutes. Yeah.
I made plans that finished directly after this.
I know. I've seen your plans on the other app, the other messaging app.
We're still waiting for you to join.
Yeah, this is gonna. I think it looks more promising now that, you know, that fucking thing is, you know, it's over my head. So yeah, I think it's more promising. So any callers want to join us, or are
Yep.
you like, don't pussy out, man? Don't pussy out.
I think we had Thingy waiting for us,
Yeah.
old Mike, but he's fucked off now.
Mike is like probably dead somewhere. Like he's like, oh, it's taking too long. I'm gonna be sick. You know what he's gonna do? He's gonna wake up tomorrow and start sending me messages like, "You motherfuckers, I stayed in the podcast for like 1 hour and you didn't invite me." Me.
No, this would be really interesting if it works to see how you're gonna figure it out with the video.
Oh yeah, because I think it breaks into
3. I think you'll be big at the top, and then I'll be small.
Yeah,
at the
I'm the big guy at the top and the 2 balls on the bottom, like that.
bottom. Yeah, sure. That.
That, yes.
But also, I was still waiting for you to send me the stuff for the previous ones.
Oh, I didn't send them to you? Oh, I
Nope.
thought I did. Oh my god.
So, if you want to join the live stream,
Here's your chance to
Here's your chance.
get your 15 minutes of fame.
talk to us directly.
Yeah.
This is making for an awkward end of a podcast, isn't it?
Yeah, because nobody's joining. I mean, I knew that this was going to happen, but it's
Yeah,
okay.
it's fine. Do you know
It's
what?
like-
You need to live to try things. If you don't, you'll never know.
Exactly. Black tar heroin. Anybody tried it? How do you know it's bad? Crack cocaine? That kind of stuff.
Get in the bin. Fucking hell.
Sex asphyxiation. How do you know it's bad? Get somebody to choke you.
It's not bad. Nobody says it's bad.
There's a lot of people who say it's bad.
No.
I mean, nobody's done it to me. I mean, I feel weird doing it to other people. Oh, AM3. How do we pronounce your name? AM3Y? Amy? Is it Amy Y? How do we pronounce your name? Give us a phonetic thing, and then we can close the podcast on that.
Yeah. Just be done.
Yeah.
No. I realised this week that I might be on 4 different winter compilations.
Really?
Yeah.
You nope.
I was like, oh, I'm not going to release anything in December because I've got a couple of compilations.
Yeah.
And then I realised I'm on all of them.
Oh,
And
shit.
potentially 4.
Amy. Okay, so it's Amy. Yeah. Okay. So we were pronouncing it right. Amy.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
See, the thing is, the genre allows for weird names. I mean, come on, look at
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
Soft spot. Isn't that a thing that babies have? You know.
Is this supposed to read?
Dipshit.
I mean, dipshit is that's
Lazyboyloops.
But I never knew. I mean, I call it dipshit,
Yeah,
but it could be dope shit. So
it's definitely dipshit.
So Jiv, like, let us in the comments, like, is it dope shit or is it dip shit?
Any thoughts
I mean-
on self-releasing? I would 100% self-release over anyone else, over anything else. Like, why do you want to actively give a percentage of your
Exactly.
royalties to some? Why would you want to give it to him?
Yeah, why would you want to
Or
give it to
him.
that guy? I think so.
What, are you there? I don't know.
Link in the bio. Click
I knew
to
it was
subscribe.
dipshit. No, because it's in the description now, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Where
yeah,
if we just point everywhere, why would you want to give it to that, like that guy? Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Like, thoughts.
Oh, it came from bunnies, not the soft spot on a baby's head that you shouldn't touch. Okay, that's fine.
Oh,
I get that now.
Okay. Came from the bunnies. Okay. Yeah, I mean, self-releasing should be a thing. Like, this is something that I'm pretty vocal about on our private messages as well. That, I see all these people like flexing with releasing with this guy and that guy and whatever, and like I got the millions of streams and whatnot. Like, we all know that, to these guys, like, I'm pretty sure that probably when thank God I'm not getting drunk. I would probably be like drunk texting everybody like Luke does. But sometimes like you're gonna know your real value if you self-release. This
Yeah.
is where you're gonna know your real value if you self-release. Because you could be like, can I bet your balls that you can have like 2 releases with, or get the average person who releases with Lo-Fi Girl nowadays. The next release, if they put it out by themselves, they're just gonna fucking bomb, because this is what's gonna happen. Me, not so much, because I have like
the numbers are disappointing anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So whatever, you know, it is what it is. But
Yeah.
you're gonna find the hard truth there. Like if you release with a label like Cowgirl, and then you're gonna try to release with yourself, like you and your fucking 100 followers on Spotify. Like, yeah. But you should definitely do that because it's like, I don't know, like we live in 2021. The possibility is there. Like, fuck labels. I used to say that to everybody. It's like, fuck labels, fuck promoters. Like, do your own shit. Like, release your own stuff. It doesn't have to be for a label all the fucking time. Like, this was like, I also said that to a bunch of the people that would release with me as well, is that you can sort of like ride the bandwagon of self-releasing, in the sense of like, you put out a release with this label, you put out a release with that label, the third release or the fourth release, or every third or fourth release you put out should be a solo one. So you can like kind of like ride. Yeah, I mean, you can. No, I wouldn't say like that. I was just like, you know, just to ride the wave. Like, you get the buzz, let's say, from the big label. You should try to do that too. Like, oh yeah, you know, I did it one myself. So I think this is also like a tactic that I have applied to in the early days of Pueblo Vista with people like releasing with me, that they would release with other labels, and then we would put out one on, you know, Pueblo Vista, in the sense of like, or they would put out, or I would advise them to put out one on their own, in the sense of like, it doesn't have to be with a label all the time, man. It's like, cause I mean, also like for the editorial placement thing, it's, imagine if you get placed in an editorial and it's a solo release. Like, you get to keep like 100% of that shit.
Yeah.
Fuck it. And you don't have to pay me or him or that other person or whatever. So fuck it. Especially when it comes to you know, like a label like Cowgirl, for example. Like I have something actually coming up on Cowgirl. It's one track on an EP of a friend of mine, Mindelic. I mean, Kimonas is like a Greek producer. Like, we hang out, and then at some point, a couple of months ago, dude, it's not. I told you, it's not a complete thing, because I told you I never wanna. Oh, never say never. I never want to release with him, like a full album or whatever, because I don't want to be in the. I know exactly how bad or well the algorithm works, and I don't want to be like a lo-fi elevator. So he texted him, like, hey, I got one EP planned with, you know, look, Cowgirl, should we collab on a track and we put it out? And I was like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. Because apparently, like, they keep accepting new tracks, maybe like up to like 1 month before the release, which I find it super nice. You know, they just kind of like keep it open. And we did one. But the funny thing is, like, that EP that he puts out is a collab with Nearly Harder. So it's like, when it comes to my track or the thing that we collab, is like, get this, 50% goes to Cowgirl, and then there's like the rest 50% is split 3 ways. So
what are you getting, like 12%?
Not even. It's crap. So, you know, but you know, live your life. I'm just gonna basically, what I'm getting out of this, it's the boost on monthly listeners. Yeah, that's what you get. Nothing more, nothing less. But if you do it in that way, in that aspect, like, it's not gonna skyrocket my shit. You know, I'm steady over 1 million all the time. So when that thing comes out, it's gonna be, maybe it's gonna push me up to 1.2, 1.3, which is perfectly great. And then because of my quote unquote organic, I'm just gonna stay over the 1 million. So
this guy just fucking, I've got Millie.
I got a Millie.
I've not, at this point, you know, doing this music, I've not even hit 100,000 yet.
Dude, stick with me, and then I'll take you places.
No, like I told you, I'm not riding it. I'm not riding that dick.
Your looks and my brains.
Hey, I've got brains too, kind of.
No, you don't.
Not when it comes to maths, but.
No, you don't. Quick maths. quick maps.
No, that's just rude. I do, and I will die on that sword.
I know you do, you idiot.
I'm not gonna sit here and let you fucking with my cum t-shirt.
And on that note,
yeah,
it's been great.
Yeah, there was things that I just quickly. Have you seen Chilled Cow's merch drop?
Oh, I did.
Do you know, I want nothing more than to sip some coffee out of that Lo-Fi Girl thermos. Come on.
some hot cum.
How to tell that you're like lo-fi and chill, unless you're wearing a Chilled Cow Lo-Fi Girl fucking hoodie.
You know what? I actually thought that I thought that he actually had merch
already. Yeah, that's what I thought.
But apparently, maybe because I'm almost positive that I've probably seen some Chilled Cow shit at some point. But it's a lot easier to market, you know, like Lo-Fi Girl. I mean, he's definitely gonna make back, like no doubt there. But and well deserved, you know. Like the hype is there, it's built up, and this is like he won't have to try too hard to sell that shit. Like,
well, I think this is the thing. Like Lo-Fi Girl as an entity has fans.
Yes.
The artists that release with them don't necessarily. And I think it's a really strange position to be in, because like I wouldn't even consider Lo-Fi Girl as a label. Like it is a brand. It is
it's a brand. Yes, it's an entity
thing. You know, that provides a service. Like it's a platform.
Yes,
and like they have the fans. People know like Chilled Cow Lo-Fi Girl. And then like if you went to someone that bought like a Chilled Cow like hoodie or something, you could probably be like, what artists that they've released do you like? And they're most likely going to be like, I don't know. I just like to study and chill.
Yeah. I just like to study and chill. Don't mind if I do.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I don't know. I just think it's really interesting that's a thing. And you know, labels with merch. That's an interesting concept as well.
Yeah. I mean, let's not. You have 1 minute left. So this is something.
Let's not get into that.
Yeah, we can talk about that stuff. It's a good topic for the podcast. We can attack it in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
So yeah. We can even buy the merch and do like a live unboxing
review.
Like an honest review.
Hey guys, this is my Chilled Cow haul.
Oh, the feels, man. The texture is so soft and smooth. I feel like I'm gonna chill right now. It's so hard. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, again, thanks for everybody who's been with us. I really appreciate the fact that we have this steady flow of the usual suspects joining the live stream. It's really great. So, very thankful for that.
Yeah.
And it's been a blast as always. And thanks.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. Share us on your Instagram and we'll give you nothing.
We'll give you Aaron's cum t-shirt. Yeah.
No, this is a good t-shirt. Come on.
No, you get another one. All this money from the...
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
True.
Okay. Ciao, guys.
Bye, everybody.
See you soon.
Pre-save my upcoming EP.
Fuck you.